Good evening, wonderful people Biafra. For those who may not know, I'm Elias, the international lobbyist for the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, represented by His Excellency Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister in Detention, and Mr. Ogochukwu Nukere, Acting Prime Minister. I minister the gospel of Biafra to the most powerful people in the world, to those in positions of power, especially in this great country, the United States of America. This is my second broadcast to follow up on my first broadcast where I discussed the need of Biafrans to change their I'm the king, I'm the queen syndrome. Many Biafrans appreciated this broadcast, and even those who were angry or upset because I spoke the truth and touched a raw nerve. Not only will I continue to touch that raw nerve, but I will hit aggressively that raw nerve to the point where all Biafrans wake up. You should view these broadcasts not only as a mirror to the zoo, but also to yourselves, because we need to save Biafrans not only from the zoo, but also from themselves and their own self-destructive tendencies. So today, my broadcast will be full of fire and brimstone. I will be causing more controversy because I will be providing a psychological analysis of the Igbo or Biafran one Nigerianist, those who are completely against Biafra independence, completely against what we're doing, people who attack us on a daily basis. I've carefully studied their psychology, their heart, their soul, their mindset, and I've come to a few conclusions or observations. From what I can see so far, there are several categories of Biafrans. There are those who are part of our movement, support Biafran independence. There are the ardent Biafran one Nigerianists, and there are also those who are not opposed to what we're doing, but are on the sidelines. And this third group or last group will be discussed in a separate broadcast. It is remarkable how there can be people from the same place or live in the same place and exist in completely different realities. Why would someone be against their own liberation or self-determination? Do they not see the threat posed to them by the Fulani and the Islamic fundamentalists? What's going on? Firstly, I believe one of the underlying behaviors of the Biafrans who are attached to this one Nigerian concept is the problem of the I'm bigger than my neighbor syndrome. Now, what do I mean by this? In Biafra land, there is a phenomenon I've read about where wealthy Biafrans build mansions in their hometowns which they never even lived in. I've read about this. I've watched videos about this. Why is this? This is so bizarre. Why do you build a house you don't even live in the house? Because there is an obsessive need among some of our Biafran brothers and sisters to show off. I've seen this obsession with showing off in my own personal experience. To provide a personal anecdote, I was aware of one situation where a Biafran lady, whom I personally know and will not name by name, went around telling everyone about how expensive and great her shoes were, telling everyone and their mother about how expensive her shoes were, and then also about how everything she does is perfect and so on and so forth. So this is not hypothetical. I've seen this firsthand with my own eye. As such, these wealthy or successful Biafrans, they get high. They get intoxicated when showing themselves off and their wealth. They start to float to the clouds, just like those who believe they are the king or they are the queen, who misinterpret the original phrase of there's no king or queen in Biafra land, and they start to think that they are the king and they are the queen, and they are superior and so on and so forth. So the problem is in the mindset of these people, what is the point of Biafra when I get to show off to everyone how rich I am and how superior I am? I have 2 Mercedes. My neighbors don't have anything. So what's the point of Biafra? I build a home that I don't even live in so everyone can just see how rich I am. So why is Biafra needed? Because of this, these Biafrans are so blind, they can't see the existential danger that the Fulani and the Islamic fundamentalists pose right underneath their own nose. So let me explain the situation to you, the Biafran one Nigerianists who are listening. And I want you to listen very, very carefully to what I have to say to you. The Islamic fundamentalists have taken over the north of Nigeria. Previously, you had the Hausa Fulani people. Now they're just the Fulani. The Fulani have swallowed the Hausa. These Islamic fundamentalists have moved from the north into the southwest and now are targeting the Yoruba. You have a Muslim ticket leading the country, including a vice president who played an instrumental role in the rise of Boko Haram. There has been Islamic fundamentalist capture of the Nigerian state, the Nigerian military at all levels. According to an article in the Nigerian Punch newspaper in January of 2025, again, not my opinion, this is the newspaper in Nigeria, and I quote, "Leaders of pan-Yoruba groups representing artisans, workers, students, community-based groups, traders, professional, and self-determination groups have jointly expressed their opposition against the move to introduce Sharia law in Yoruba land." So this is not simply a matter of terrorist groups and Fulani herders killing Biafrans or people in Nigeria, which again is an ongoing and serious issue. This is also a matter of systematic takeover of the entire country by radical Islamic fundamentalists. If the Islamic fundamentalists take over Yoruba land, obviously the next and the last target will be Biafra land. Many of the Islamic fundamentalists have openly expressed this, that when they are finished with the Yorubas, their next target and their final target will be the Biafrans. And there are those federal politicians in Nigeria who openly express their desire for the entire country to be under Sharia law, which again would include Biafra. There have been efforts, including even last year, to expand Sharia law throughout the entire country. Now, that effort last year in the national legislature in Nigeria did not succeed, but if Nigeria continues on its current trajectory, that will be the reality at some point. There will be Sharia law imposed on a federal level. Sharia will come to Biafra land. So if we've declared Biafra, but if we now do not restore Biafra, everyone in Biafra land will be under Sharia. And what I'm telling you is something that I'm very, very confident in. This is going to happen if we don't take the necessary actions. And in places in Nigeria that are already under Sharia, children are having their limbs chopped off, their limbs amputated. I read a story of a 12-year-old boy who had both of his arms cut off for allegedly stealing an item. I mean, this is barbarism at the highest levels. So when Biafra is under Sharia, you will all be subject to Sharia, regardless of how rich you are. There's no provision in Sharia law which says if you're worth more than $1 million or if you own Mercedes or what have you, that you are exempt from Sharia law. So as such, at that point, will it really matter that you own multiple Mercedes or big houses that you don't even live in if you're under such a circumstance? Many of the Biafran One Nigerianists discuss having a great Igbo land within Nigeria, or having an economically strong a la Igbo within Nigeria. Absolute nonsense, complete rubbish, garbage. First of all, it is a fallacy to think you can make Biafra into another Dubai, which is what these Biafran One Nigerians talk about. Within the constructs of a failing Nigerian state, which is quickly becoming like another Somalia. What affects the whole affects the part. In order to have this so-called economic Biafra, you also need political and geopolitical independence. This is basic logic. This is basic reason. That's the problem with you people whose brains have been broken by the zoo. You can't reason. You can't logic. That is why I'm doing these broadcasts, to help you people logic and reason in order to think more sensibly, more reasonably. And I'm hoping that with these broadcasts, we could reset the brains of many of you people who just cannot think properly, who think rubbish, who think nonsense. So furthermore, right, even if you could achieve this economic Igbo land fantasy within Nigeria, which is not possible, but even if you could achieve it, what is the point of the so-called economic Igbo land, economic Biafra land, if you have no freedom? Does having a fancy hotel or these Biafran businesses or having a lot of money matter when the Islamic fundamentalist authorities in Biafra land, once Biafra is under Sharia, seize you for a minor infraction and decide to cut off your hand? I'm serious about this.
Elias has given staunch warning to Biafrans that they should wake up, otherwise the Fulani will overrun Biafra, having subdued and conquered the entire northern people. Their target is the southwest. After dealing with southwest, eventually the entire Biafran land will be overrun. So they should avoid bickering, backbiting, and focus on the main defense and restoration. Otherwise, they will all be wiped off. Your take on this development?
Okay, the man, Biafran lobbyist, that American man, Elias, said the truth. But this truth, will he not be labeled as a criminal? You know, the other time, at the initial stage, he called Ngozi Rabeze and said, you people are running parallel government. Come together. We still work with you and work with Ogechukwu Nkere. What is his own problem is to achieve Biafra. Ngozi Rabeze call him terrorist, call him criminal. I have sacked him. She have sacked him. She's a criminal. Maybe this one is speaking now. Ngozi Rabeze will still call him criminal. That's what she claimed. That's what she spoke. But look at this one comment. He said that the Biafran agitators who want to restore the Biafran nation are these people. He said Biafran government in exile and Ogechukwu Nkere. They are the people that working hard. He is not talking of the other camp. But let the whole Biafra come together, which is what a sensible man, a right man. A man who knows his business, a man who knows what he was doing, a man who knows his job, a professional man in the field of what he has, his occupation. Call the whole Biafrans, come together for you to have the victory. And now we say there are two Biafrans. They are realistic Biafrans, and they are Biafrans of one Nigerianist. Biafrans of one Nigerianist, and the realistic Biafran. These are two sections of Biafran. And who are the Biafran realistic? The Biafrans under Biafran government in exile, supervised now by Ogenkere, until when our able Prime Minister come out. And they are other Biafra one Nigerianists, which are in the side of the other camp, call themselves United States of Biafra Nigeria, United States Biafra Nigerians. You understand? And what he said that we should examine houses, nupes, guaris, TVs, lanterns, canuris, that Fulani have swallowed them. Fulani is coming out to swallow the West. It remains little thing now. Fulani will swallow the West, the Yorubas. He call it pumper play. But their major target now is the East, Biafrans. That Biafrans should wake up. If not so, they'll be swallowed up. And really, the man said really, if Biafra did not wake up now and defend themselves, now the light is almost going off. The light of Biafra is almost going off. We are only now standing only by the grace of God, not by our own intelligence or by our own strength. If not the grace of God, Fulani could have wiped Biafrans off now.